Hello, baby, how are you? Oh my goodness, it's been raining and it's still raining so much. Oh, I cannot imagine how you must feel. You were looking forward to today for so long. Yeah, I know you wanted to go to the park and you had it all planned out. I'm sorry. But I know the rain kind of sucks sometimes because it ruins our plans when we want to go outdoor. But what about we do something different? Yes, how about we tell stories? Yeah, do you want to? Yay, I love stories. Whenever I was like afraid or scared when I was little, I used to call my mom and she would come at night and tell me the most beautiful stories until I fell asleep. Yeah, she had an amazing imagination. Do you want me to tell you one? Yeah, let's see. What kind of story do you want me to tell you? A scary story or a romantic story? No? What do you want? A fantasy story, like a out of this world story? Well, that sounds amazingly interesting. Let me try it. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a wonderful, wonderful elf called Ronnie. Yeah, Ronnie was a very mischievous elf. He liked to play tricks on all of his friends. One day, he played a trick on a very, very wise man of the village. He was called Lenny. Yes, Lenny. And Lenny did not like that. He did not like that. But Lenny did not tell the little elf or little Ronnie that he was mad. He decided he was going to play a trick right back. So, the days went by and Ronnie was very mischievous as always, having fun, when suddenly a letter arrived to his door. And it said, "Dear Ronnie, I have a gift for you. Come to the end of the village." Oh my goodness gracious, yes, at night. And it was a storm brewing. Come at the end of the village because I'm going to give you a wonderful magical gift. And it was signed by the headmaster of the House of Elves. And you can imagine how excited Ronnie got. Ronnie was kind of very innocent and he really wanted to get admitted to this amazing House of Elves. So when he read that it was signed by the headmaster, he said, "I'm going to go. I don't care if it's at the end of the village. I don't care if it's at night and if it's raining and brewing a big storm. I'm going to meet this wonderful headmaster and he's going to give me a gift." So Ronnie went without his mom's permission. But imagine his surprise when he didn't find anyone waiting for him. And he got there, and an hour went by, another hour went by, another hour went by, and no one came. Ronnie was very mad. He was about to go after 3 hours when suddenly, a magical little basket came pouring down the clouds, and Ronnie took it in his hands. But this basket was not anything common. It had like this wonderful, wonderful tie around it that sparkled and shined. And Ronnie was a little bit afraid of touching this basket. But he remembered that he always wanted to go to this House of Elves, so he took it. But when he touched the little, how can you say this? The little tie, yeah, the thing that was wrapping up the basket, he suddenly poofed, magically became a frog. Can you imagine? Ronnie was in despair. He could not believe what was happening. He suddenly felt himself falling into the grass and he was like, "What is going on? I cannot." I cannot see what's happening. And then suddenly he decided to look at himself, and he saw his little frog hands and his little frog feet, and he said, I'm a frog, I'm a frog. But of course no one could hear that. Everyone would hear river, 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 but he could hear it in his mind, of course. I'm a frog, I'm a frog. And he was so afraid. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Lenny appeared and said, that's what you get for playing tricks on the old magical elf. And he started laughing. Ho, 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 ho. And little Ronnie was so angry. He got so angry, but so very angry, that suddenly he remembered this spell that his grandfather had taught him when he was little. And he said, rain in the sky, mud in the floor, make that wise elf very, very old. And suddenly Lenny became very, very much old. Like really, really old. I mean, he was already old, but he became even older, and he could not for the love of the human world understand how this little frog could enchant him to become such an old man. And he said, you mischievous little frog, how can you do this to me? And of course Lenny in froggy language, Ronnie in froggy language, which Lenny could understand, said, I am doing just what you did to me. I am putting a spell over you. Lenny was very, 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 very infuriated. He was so angry, but he knew that if he didn't fix it right away, he was gonna stay an old man forever. So he said to Ronnie, let's make a deal. You turn me back into my usual old, not so very, very old self, and I will turn you back into an elf, a child elf. And Ronnie said, you promise? And Lenny said, of course I promise. I give you my word. Ronnie decided to do the enchantment that would turn Lenny back into his usual self, which was still old, but not as old as he became because of Ronnie's spell. And boom, suddenly Lenny was his usual, normal, wise self, and he became very, 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 very still angry. But he became also very ashamed of what he had done, because he realized he had put himself in the place of a little kid, and he turned Ronnie right away into his usual elf kid kind of way, and he said, I'm sorry, Ronnie, but you played a bad trick on me, and I wanted to teach you that it's not nice to play tricks on people. Ronnie decided to think about what his eldest said, because he usually didn't do that. He usually just reacted. He never used to think about the words that other people say. Whenever someone said that tricks were not good for you to play on other people, Ronnie would just dismiss them. But this time he decided to think about it, and he said, you're right, Lenny. I'm sorry for playing a trick on you. And Lenny said, okay, apology accepted, but only if you never ever play tricks like that again. Ronnie said, okay, I promise. And they went back to the village together with no basket, because the basket has disappeared, but a new friendship inside. The end. What do you think of that story? It's very weird, right? I just came up with it. That I think there's a moral of the story. Sometimes when people do things to us, we tend to react. And when we do that, it's not necessarily the wisest thing, because we're gonna allow ourselves to be led by emotions. I mean, Ronnie was not the most innocent elf. He played tricks on everyone, but Lenny was the wisest elf, and he did not think through the idea of enchanting Ronnie. So when he did that, he was reacting and he was not reflecting on his actions. Eventually, that led to Ronnie taking revenge and turning him into a very, very old elf. So I guess it's important that no matter what other people do to us, we try to reflect and think before we act, because we might regret our actions. What do you think? I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but I think that's the moral of this story that I just made up. And the rain's still pouring, really, really heavy. What should we try to do now? Yes, 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 yes. Let's let's do something like when we were little. Yeah, my brothers and I used to play games. And we used to just like do stop. You don't want it? You don't like stop. Okay, so what should we do? Perhaps we can we can tell each other facts. Yeah, like facts that we know. What kind of facts do you want to know? Okay, let's say a fact that I know is that in Venezuela, that's the country I'm from, El Pico Bolivar is the highest. How can you say in English pico? I don't know how you say it, but it's like a hill or mount. It's not a mountain, but it's like a big yeah, it's kind of a mountain, but not. I don't know how to say Angone. Think about it, but it's like the biggest pico in the entire country. Can you imagine El Pico Bolivar? When you go to this wonderful like hill and you go to the top station, there's no place that I remember in Venezuela. Is there any other place where it snows? But in this place, on the last, well, it says station. I don't know when, because you go like through a special transportation that takes you all the way. Like, I don't know how it's called. It's called in Spanish teleférico, which is like a special little wagon. Well, like the subway, but on the air, or something like that. But they're little little transportations where people get up and they go up the hill. And when you get there, in the last station, there's snow. I mean, you can find snow sometimes, and it's wonderful. And if you don't want to get up there by that way, you can go there by donkey. Yes, it's amazing. You go there in donkey. Well, you travel by donkey, and it's a lot of more hours than if you go by the teleférico. But it's very beautiful, they say. And when you get there, it's really wonderful, and the mountains and everything looks amazing. I remember I once or twice went when I was very little. I don't remember anymore. I was very little if I went once or twice, but I did go, and it was so beautiful, my friend. Have you ever gone to a very high place? Like Mount Everest, perhaps? I'm playing. I know it takes a lot of work, and you have to prepare yourself to go to Mount Everest. But it's beautiful, they say. Would you ever want to go to Mount Everest? I don't know if I would. I mean, I perhaps I would like to, but I know that you have to prepare for that, and I don't know if I have all the energy for that. But I know that it's beautiful. Anyway, what other facts, like random facts, we can talk about today? Let's say, do you know that here in Mexico, the ajolote, which is a beautiful, beautiful species, they can regenerate. Yes, so you can, even if they get their little hands or their little body parts cutten, like they can regenerate. They're so amazing. Yes, they're endangered species, but I hope they are able to be like preserved. Yes, because they're so beautiful and cute, and because it's amazing to take care of nature. It's important that we remember we as humans are just one species in the whole entire earth, And all the other species are our brothers and sisters, and we have to take care of them. I guess that's what we also have to remember, that the rain that's raining right now is also very important. Yeah, I mean, we need that for the plants and the flowers and the animals and the earth in general. So I guess it's good too. And besides, we can have fun inside too. Like right now, I told you the story and some weird facts. And I think it was a fun time, don't you think? We can also dance if you like. Would you like to do that? Oh, you want to take a nap? That's okay, yeah. I'll be right here when you wake up. Yeah, and we can dance then. Da 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 dance dance. I'll be waiting for you to wake up, my friend. Yeah, I love you too. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Well, not night, but nap, because we still have a long way to go. After we wake up, we're gonna dance and dance, dance all night long, okay? But rest a little bit for now. I love you.